everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is my podcast, Up in the Clouds. Hi, hello, how are you? I have missed you guys so much, more than I can ever say or put into words. I hope you guys have been doing really well, and I just wanted to kind of start out by apologizing that it's been so long since I've uploaded anything. I've kind of been going through sort of an awakening of the soul. If you guys have heard me talk about it before, I'm pretty sure that I'm kind of going through like a dark night of the soul where I'm just kind of soul searching and finding myself again, and I didn't feel right coming on here and pretending like I'm okay and trying to coach people. And like, obviously I've always been super transparent with you guys about everything that I've been going through and dealing with, and honestly I couldn't even face you guys, and I couldn't sit here and try to help other people with their life when I felt like my own life wasn't under control. I felt like I was spinning. I felt like I was spiraling, and I couldn't get above water. And I recorded a few episodes and I hated them. I hated, like, I was nitpicking the way that I looked, the way that I talked, just every single thing about every episode that I tried to upload, like, while I was on this not really break, because I was trying to record. I hated anything I would talk about. There was one episode where you could tell that I was super anxious during it. I was literally talking like so fast and you couldn't understand anything that I was saying. And it sucked because I didn't even want to re-record it because the message that I had behind it was so good. It's just I was talking way too fast and I wasn't calm, and you could tell and you could see it in my body language. And I didn't like that. And I didn't want you guys to see that side of me. I want to be strong. Like, I do this to help other people, and I wasn't necessarily helping myself, and I wasn't doing anything good for my own self, and really just kind of sort of trying to, like I said, get above water and find myself again, to feel secure enough to come back on here and face you guys and really kind of share like what I've been kind of dealing with in a way where I feel ready to talk about things, and in a way that I'm not an anxious, nervous mess, and I'm not sitting here nitpicking everything that I'm saying or doing or how I look or, whatever. I'm kind of getting to a place where I can start to really kind of like look at myself again and not want to cry. It was scary for a while, and like, I'm still struggling really bad. And honestly, the crazy part is like, I can't really pinpoint it to like one thing necessarily. It's just life, like, when life just feels like a lot, and it kind of just feels like everything is just kind of coming at you at once, and you don't really know how to like handle it or deal with it, or really what to do to kind of get it under control. And you just feel like you're drowning, and water keeps coming and coming and coming, and you're going above water and you're getting thrown back under again. And that's kind of how I felt for a while. And then a cry for help later, and the universe, God, angels, whatever you believe in, really came through for me in a moment that I didn't know if I was going to come out of this hole. And I'm still coming out. Like, I'm not fully out of this hole, but it was scary. It was really scary. And life sort of, connected me, reconnected. I've been seeing a lot of people in the past couple weeks that I hadn't seen recently, or just hadn't seen like enough of, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes you see people and it's like not long enough. So life sort of connected me with people that I needed to see and people that I needed to be with, to sort of reground me and sort of bring me back, to remind me that there are people that care about me, and that these thoughts that are my head tries to convince me that people don't care, and that if I wasn't alive, it'd be a lot better for everyone. You know, those are the like things that I was feeling. And life brought me around the people that I needed to be around to remind myself um, how important I am to other people. Because when your mind is telling you that, you know, you don't matter, you don't mean anything, and you're convincing yourself that, and you're sitting there telling yourself that over and over and over until you believe it, it's really hard to get yourself out of that. It is so hard to unconvince yourself. But when you're put in a situation like, you know, hanging out with people or friends, and you're shown the things that you've been needing to see that you did, like, you don't want to like ask for people to do, you know, you just get it and you just feel it. Like, you feel that you're making a presence, or you feel that your presence is important. And sometimes that's such a minuscule thing, but it can mean so much. And like, my friends don't even know like that they saved my life like these past few weeks. My eating disorder has been really bad. I was self-harming again a little bit. And just been like really super depressed, and like haven't been sleeping, and just not having, and then like at the same time just being so tired, and either sleeping too much or not sleeping at all, and just really sort of in this haze, you know. I was like working a ton so that I wouldn't be home, because being home would mean being alone and stuck in my thoughts. And I was like to the point where I was like so anxious, it was like even hard to like watch anything, because I would like watch something and just think of things, and or just like my mind couldn't pay attention to anything. And it just was really, I don't know. I still like don't fully feel like myself, but I feel so much better than what I was. And I always kind of feel like a different person after I partake in psychedelics. I sort of always come out of it a different person, and I usually try to stay away from it when I'm in a bad headspace. But I was like I did it when I'm like on my come up. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm getting a little bit better, and it sort of really just hit me differently this time too. I did it on the eclipse, which I probably shouldn't have done, because it was just a weird like night in general, and weird people, weird vibes. Like, seeing the eclipse was really trippy. Oh, it's crazy because, like I said, I always feel like a different person after. I always look at life differently. I view things differently. And this time, yes, I did too, but I literally feel like a completely different person. But yet not different. I feel like an old version of me has like come out. That the version of me that I needed to come out like resurfaced. Because when I was tripping, I was trying to embody that girl that I like, that life has been telling me to be again. And so like when I was tripping, I was trying to embody that energy, and now I feel like that energy, even if not fully, like it sort of kind of has stuck a little bit, and I'm getting my confidence back. I'm getting myself back. Like, I can look at myself and not want to rip my skin off of my bones, like, because I hate myself so much, or looking at my body and just being so ashamed. Like, and it's just crazy that it's like even like that. You know, I wish it wasn't. Like, I wish I could fix it. I wish I could just like turn whatever switch is in my head and switch it to like normal mode or like view myself how everyone sees me mode or something, because it's not like I enjoy feeling like this, and it's so hard to open up about it because I feel like when you don't see yourself as other people see you, and then you get like for example, like when I'm like, I hate, it sucks because like I want to female empowerment, wear what you want to wear, express yourself, but I also hate that when I look dressy or dress up and I'm exposing my body, the attention that it gets. I don't enjoy that part at all. And like some people take that as like, oh, I don't like attention. But like, no, I really like don't. It makes me physically so uncomfortable, and like it's almost like I feel like a piece of me, and I hate that feeling. So that's why a lot of the times, like if you know me in real life, a lot of the times I wear like baggy shit or like really like overly large clothes, because I don't like to, if I feel like I'm gonna be in a situation where I'm going to be chomped at, then I will probably wear like baggy clothes or like oversized things, just because I don't enjoy it. I know that every girl like a lot of people like say that, but genuinely I just really hate it. And I'm just trying to vibe, I'm just trying to have fun, I'm trying to do my own thing. Like I just don't want to be bothered, and like it's nice, it's complimenting, you know, I should take it as a compliment, but also just makes me never want to dress provocative or dress cute or anything because of it. And that's not fair. Like that's not how life should be. It shouldn't have to be like that. As a girl, like I shouldn't feel like I can't dress how I want to dress because I'm afraid of the attention that it's going to bring me, because I don't like that. I don't want attention. I don't want eyes on me. If I could have any superpower in the world, I would probably choose to be invisible, because I hate being seen. I don't even know if that's just like an anxiety thing or like what that is at all, but I just hate being seen in a degrading way. Like, I guess, like, if I'm being seen in a way that's positive, then yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to be seen in a positive way? But what I'm talking about is like when you go to a club or a concert or go out at all, and you just kind of get completely, you know, degraded on because of, you know, by men, and it's just not fun, you know. And guys, you don't understand. Guys will never understand like what women have to go through. And I don't even want to be like play the gender or whatever, you know, play any of that, but it's like, let's be real. Like, you know what I mean though? Like, I feel like it's definitely harder to be a woman than it is to be a guy. I'm not saying that it can't happen to men, but it's definitely not as frequent as when it happens to women, unfortunately. And it just makes it not fun, you know. And like when I'm super anxious, or when I'm, you know, like I was going through a lot, it makes me not want to be seen or noticed. It's like, oh, everyone knows that I'm fucked up, or, you know, everyone knows that I'm paranoid as fuck right now, or everyone knows I'm anxious as fuck right now. And it's just this like, you get so in your head about literally every single thing you do, every single thing that you say, every single thing that you do, like reflecting throughout the day. You're like, why did I fucking do that? I'm so fucking weird. Or why did I say that? Why did I this or that? Or, you know, like when you have a crush on someone and then you're like, oh my God, why did I say that in front of them? Like, I'm so lame, you know, things like that. And then like when I'm super bad, like how I was, like it's just like 10 times what I am normally. So like those are all normal things, and then when I'm like really, really bad, it's like times 10, like overthinking to the max. And so yeah, but here we are. We're back and better and ish, and going to try to not fall off the wagon again. I promise that I will be a lot better. Promise to not leave you guys to leave you guys that long again. I had someone tell me a few days ago that my podcasts and me as a person have really helped them grow as their own person, and really sort of help that person get out of a relationship that she has known that she has needed to get out of, but just never sort of had the strength to do it. And when she told me that, like on the phone, I kept my cool, but like I literally wanted to cry my eyes out. That hearing that is just like what I needed to sort of kind of get back on and sort of reground myself, like seeing all my friends, being reminded how loved and how cared about that I am, and how these people would be very hurt if I did anything like that. And so reminding myself about that, being told constantly by this person those same things as well, because she knew a lot of the stuff that I was going through. And then to be told that, you know, how much of a difference I made in her life. And I didn't even yeah, I mean, I do these podcasts and I try to help people, but I wasn't like I was just reminding her of her worth, you know, and that's what more people need. We all need to remember what we are worth, and we need to remember that life is too fucking short to be unhappy, and life is weird, and life is crazy, and we have to remember just to hug each other and tell each other we love each other, because really we don't know when the next time that we're going to see each other is, and you also don't know what people are always going through. Because you could have friends who are like me, who don't talk to people when they're going through shit, and they just sort of deal with everything on them, like on their own. And then like whenever I get better, I'm always like, yeah, bro, I was not good for like 3 months. And then they'll be like, what? And then I'm like, yeah, sorry I didn't tell you, but like I'm good now, so it's fine. Like, you know, like that's the type of shit I be on. And like I need to be better about that as well, because leaning on people is not a bad thing. And if I wouldn't have leaned on my one friend, who I ended up helping her, which is so weird, we kind of like helped each other, but if I wouldn't have leaned on her and opened up to her about what I was going through, I don't know if I would be here. So let's give a round of applause to my amazing friend. Thank God. Because like then like I don't know if this ever happens to anyone else when they're going through like a really like dark depression, suicidal thing. But whenever this happens to me, like when I get really, really low, when I get really close to doing something, or like, you know, like I was self-harming or like whatever again, and like really close, like I was hurting my, you know, like that type of, like you get that to that point where you're so close to just anytime, any day, anytime. And then like things happen to you and you're like I feel like this always happens, like a lot of good things start to happen then, like once you get over the hump, like maybe not right when you're in the hump, because you know you're in a bad mind space, you're attracting negative things, you know, but when you kind of get like back up the hill a little bit and you start to build up positivity again, and so some good things start happening, and then all these good things start rushing, and you're like, I would have been dead, like I wouldn't have even been here to enjoy this or enjoy that or meet this person or meet that person or in love with someone. Like you could meet the soulmate and like you wouldn't have been able to meet them because you would have, you know, and it's just like things like that. I always think about stuff like that, you know, and like think about like being there for someone and then being like, oh my God, I don't know what I would do without you. And it's like those words mean so much to people who are in like who have the mindset of whatever I forget what it's technically called, but like whatever my suicidal shit, like people don't understand, like when you say stuff like that to someone who is suicidal, that can like really save them more than people understand. Like, I don't know what I would do without you, because then that kind of grounds them. At least in my situation, it grounds me and reminds me that like I have people that I care. I have people that would not be okay if I did anything. And it sort of recenters me and really kind of brings me to that place where I'm like, yes, I'm here for a reason. I have people that love me. Fuck you, mind, and stop lying to me. You know, like, because your mind can play so many tricks on you. And I've talked about that so many times, and I will continue to talk about it because it's something that I struggle with and something that everybody struggles with. Not everybody, but I guess a lot of people struggle with. And a lot of people struggle with it. And I think a lot more people struggle with it than I think they do. Like, I think a lot of people overthink stuff and they don't even know that they do. So, yeah, like, crazy. Literally just crazy. And just to remind anybody how much they mean to you, or any little thing, like this is such a, I feel like with COVID, a lot of people's mental health got really, really screwed up, and maybe even people who've never had mental health problems before are experiencing things that they've never known, what to do or how to deal with. And we as a collective, we as, light workers, we as energy healers, empaths, life coaches, we as a human race, we need to be there for each other, and we need to remind each other and our friends how loved we are. And like, you never know when someone could be on the darkest cloud and about to just, and you never know. And that's why we need to make sure that it's known always that people don't feel unloved and people don't feel unappreciated. And if somebody does something that makes you happy, you need to just tell them. And you need to just say how great they are and how much they mean to your life. And I think that's really important. And it's something that like I, always try to do. I try to be very transparent with people and just always like letting them know how much I love them, how much I care, because when I'm not here one day, like I want them to remember those things about me, that I was that person, for them, even though I couldn't be for myself, And I think that's beautiful, to love people so much. I think like I'm that friend that's always like, love you. I literally say it so much. It's like probably obnoxious. And I hate like if I leave situations and like don't hug my friends, because I've like learned the hard way that there's a chance you could never see them again, and then you can never hug them again, and you can just wish you could have hugged them one more time, So I feel like hugs are super important. Saying I love you is important, and just always, relaying that. As you guys know, today is Thanksgiving, and one of the last like really good memories that I have with Abby was that I went to her family's Thanksgiving, and then a month later she was gone, well, a month and a half, because month and a half, because Thanksgiving, then it was January. But yeah, like, and that is such a special memory that I'll have in my heart forever. Obviously, it makes Thanksgiving like a really, really hard day for me, because I just think about how much I miss her and think about how differently things would be if she was still here. And I know that's kind of torturous, like you shouldn't do that, but also it's hard not to, especially when it's your best friend. And yeah, I love her so much, and I know she's with me all the time, which makes it better, but it's still not the same. And to just always remember to check on your friends to make sure your friends are okay. And just, if you get a thought, if someone crosses your mind, that's another thing. Like if anybody just randomly crosses your mind and you haven't talked to them in a while, or maybe you just randomly think of somebody, reach out to them, because there's probably a reason that you were thinking about them, because they could be thinking about you too, which causes you to energetically like start to think about them, or they could need you, and the universe is kind of being like, yo, reach out to this person, they need your help. You know, because that's happened to me like so many times. I'll randomly think of somebody and then I'll reach out to them, and it turns out that like they needed somebody, you know. And we all need people, we all need each other, we all need love, we all need everything, this, that. And we all need to be reminded how loved we are, and how, whether we think we need it or not, it's not a validation thing or a gratification thing. It's just kind of like a human thing. It's important to feel loved, and it's important to feel cared about, especially if you are having a really hard time. And obviously that's that time of the year too. People get really, really stressed and sad around the holidays. So just be extra, you know, be extra with your friends. Call them, call somebody you haven't talked to in a while, just see how they're doing, you know. You can only, you know, if they don't answer or they're busy or whatever and they can't really talk, you know, then at least you know you tried. And just love. Spread motherfucking love, because there is not enough love on this planet. And people are so hateful to each other and so just not what we need, you know, right now. And a lot of times, a lot of people struggle with seasonal depression as well. So this like getting dark really early thing, especially if you live in the Midwest. I don't really know how it is anywhere else. I would assume places still get darker early if they participate in daylight savings, but maybe it's not as early as the Midwest. But in the Midwest, it gets dark at 4:30. So it's terrible. Like, we have minimal daylight, so don't oversleep. You gotta wake up as early as you can so you can get as much daylight as possible. And we're starting to get to that like time where like the sun is like never gonna come out. So that's also really awful. So like, let's all pray for each other. Gosh. But no, and like, so a lot of people struggle with seasonal depression. A lot of people struggle with, I guess you could call it holiday depression. Sometimes it's holidays bring up memories or feelings or things just in general that aren't fun, aren't good, you know, or people get stressed and that kind of creates that energy that's not fun, you know. And just kind of remember to be extra cautious and extra loving with each other, and really sort of that light for somebody. Because you never know when someone's in the darkness, and that someone will need a light to sort of bring them back, bring them out of that tunnel. And I want you to know that if you're struggling, and if things have been hard for you lately, if you're hurting yourself or struggling with your eating or struggling with anything, your anxiety, depression, panic attacks, like literally anything, bipolar, fucking borderline personalities. There's so many things that people can be struggling with, or schizophrenia, literally anything, you know. And they're like, not necessarily I will be able to relate to all things, but I will try my best, you know. And just know that if you don't have anybody that's here in your life, and if you're listening to this right now, you have me. Know that I will be there for you, even if I don't know you, to raise the vibration of this planet. I want to help, you know, people raise their own vibrations, that this planet can thrive. Because I feel like as a planet, I feel like as an earth, as a race, a human race, we're all so not loving and not caring, and we need to shift that. We need to love each other. We need to not be pitted against each other, and, you know, fall into these agendas where they pit each other, like everybody against each other. And we just need to love and respect. And if people have different opinions, we need to respect that and not hate somebody for it, or make somebody feel like an idiot for what they believe or what they think, or, you know, just respect and walk away if it's that big of an issue. And everything that's been going on in the world right now has been creating this really dark, scary energy over the whole planet. And I can feel it. I walk and I feel it. I'm in a store and I feel it. And just people just aren't the same. And we really need to come back from that. We all, as a race, need to work together and find those connections that we have with people and create this we need to create something to bring us together and find this light and bring us all out of this tunnel of darkness, because I think a lot of people are struggling more than we even know, and more than even they know, and more than their friends or family know. And we all just need to really just spread love. We need to spread love, kindness, and positivity, and really any bad negative vibrations we need to stay away from and make sure we're catching on to that and not falling into that, and working away from that. I fall into bad habits as well. Gossiping can create negative, talking bad on people, anything related to that creates a negative energy. You want to try to not do that. And that's not it's so hard to not talk bad about people. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes you, especially in a environment, like a work environment, you don't necessarily think that, but you're creating that. You're creating an environment of negativity by doing that. So just being cautious of things you say and being cautious of your actions, and just trying to put out only good vibrations, and just remembering that you are here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. And even if you don't know your purpose, you have one. And even if you don't think you have one, you do, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't. I'm sorry, you wouldn't. Or if your purpose was finished, I truly do believe that if your purpose is finished here on earth, then you will go to heaven. That is my belief. No, you don't have to agree with me on that. Obviously people get taken in really horrific ways, and that's not necessarily always God. But I'm just saying, a lot of the times there is a reason for everything, and not a lot of the times, there is a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and whether that reason be a negative or a positive reason, there is a reason, and we have to find that and have to learn to be okay with that, and have to remember that it's okay that, bad things happen. Bad things can teach us good things. Bad things can ground us. If we are living in a way that's not good, bad things can sort of snap us to reality and realize the way we've been living isn't good. And good things can, be good, as so everything does happen for a reason, and we meet people and we do things and start new jobs and move places, and everything we do, all these decisions we make, all connect, and the universe, God, angels. I refer to the universe as God, angels, but a lot of people don't see it that way, so I like to just say universe to keep it universal. That was stupid. To keep it universal, but when I refer to the universe, I'm referring to it as God. I think I need to make that clear, because obviously there's a lot of stuff about spirituality going around and how it's demonic and stuff, and that's not my vibe. that stuff actually scares the shit out of me. So definitely not. When I refer to the universe, I mean God, or angels, that kind of vibe. But not everybody believes that, and I don't want to discredit anyone who believes anything different. That's why I like to refer to it as the universe. But the universe sends us things, and sends us people, and sends us ideas in our head and things that we should do to get on the path that we're supposed to be on, and meet the people that we need to meet in that moment in time of our life. I was super alone. I was feeling super alone. Felt like I didn't really have a lot of people. A lot of my close friends are all in relationships, which is whatever. I don't care about that, because I'm friends with both. I'm friends with the girls, I'm friends with the boys. I'm just saying it does create a lonely environment, just because most of them live with their people. So it's it kind of creates that loneliness, and not a desperate need to be in a relationship, because I'm really not in a headspace to even comprehend a relationship right now. But unless I was with the right person. You know what I mean, though? if you're not in a good headspace, you know not to not jump into a relationship. But if the right person came along that, but anyways, it creates like this loneliness, and I was feeling just so alone and so just like, fuck, like I am so just alone. And then I started working at this new job, and I met so many people, and I've made friends, and it's just like everything that I needed in that moment kind of came to me, and like was what I needed, to kind of help me. And then I kind of fell into darkness, and now I'm trying to get out of darkness again. But like just being reminded like that I have like really cool people surrounding me every single day, and people that I work with, it's great. And it's really makes life a lot better when you actually enjoy your job and enjoy the people that you work with, because it really creates that happiness on top of it. Because I was so miserable at my other job, and didn't really like a lot of people that I worked with. Most of the, like, there were a good amount of people that I did like, but a good amount of people that like I just did not vibe with. They just were my vibe, like, or people like I wouldn't hang out with outside of work. Like cool people at work, cool, but it was like never anybody that I would do anything outside of work. And it's kind of fun to kind of have that again, like friends, like actual friends that are from work, and making work a better environment and overall like better, and so that's super important, like your work environment and work friends and just your life even outside of work, and making sure that you're having connections with people and staying connected. When you obviously, like, you can be a loner all you want, but being alone isn't always good, and it's not good if you're not in a good headspace either. So just making sure that you're watching your headspace, and that if you are somebody that typically likes to spend more time alone, that like if you get into a headspace where you feel yourself kind of slipping into a darkness, dark habits, dark patterns, dark thoughts, start to go hang out with some people, even family, just try to find somebody to make a connection with. And even if you just have one friend, you don't need to have a million friends. The less friends you have, honestly, the better, because people fucking suck and people are shitty, unfortunately, and people hurt you. But there are good people as well that won't hurt you and that will love you and care about you, and you just gotta find those people and just turn on your little intuition, because we all have it. It's just whether we choose to listen to it or not. But holy shit, I'm gonna wrap this episode up now. Sorry, this was kind of longer than usual. I try not to go over 30 minutes, but your girl had a lot to say. It's been a while. I have missed you guys so much. Again, I am so sorry for being gone so long. It will not happen again. I'm pinky promise you. I'm going to keep myself so good and keep myself so leveled that I will not let myself slip into that. I promise you. I will not go back down the road that I was on, because it was really fucking scary and I didn't know if I was going to get out of it. But we're here. We're good. We're back. We're better. We're thriving. And I'm so fucking happy to say that I will see you next week. I'm sending you all so much love and light. I hope you had a beautiful Thanksgiving and ate all the food that you wanted to eat and didn't feel bad about it. And if you're watching this even after Thanksgiving, don't feel bad about the food that you ate, because it is okay to binge, and it is okay to let yourself enjoy food every once in a while if you are like me and you struggle with food and eating. Anyways, sending you love and light, and I will see you guys next week. I love you. Bye.